Hey guys, so it's been a while. I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up of what's been going on with just coping after losing the baby and the adoption process and whatnot. So I lost, for those of you who are new to my channel, I had a stillbirth at 23 weeks and 5 days, and gave birth to my daughter Chandler October 26th, and she was born sleeping. So previously I had experienced 2 miscarriages, and after the second miscarriage, Scotty and I started talking about potentially adopting one day. And adoption is very strong in both of our families. And so we kind of just threw around the idea, but I wasn't ready to take that step because I didn't feel like we had tried enough. And so then we kept trying, finally got pregnant on Clomid, and then lost the baby. So after that, I seriously thought about if I would ever be able to try again. Like, being pregnant when you have a high risk pregnancy is super stressful, and I would be stressed even more after losing my 3rd pregnancy. So I pretty much at that point decided I was nowhere near ready to be pregnant again and deal with all the emotions that would come along with that, but I was definitely ready to be a mom. And I am a mom because Chandler is my baby, but I didn't get to experience being a mom. So I lost her in October, and in December we were talking pretty seriously about adoption, and I kept throwing around the idea. And at the time I was still seeing my doctor, and he was saying all the tests they were going to do and try to figure out if they could figure out what was causing my pregnancy losses and all that. And at that point, obviously I wasn't cleared to try anyway. So in like early to mid-December, Scotty and I actually fully 100% decided we're gonna start this adoption process. It's gonna be a long process, and we want to start it now. So we started fundraising immediately. We decided we were gonna do the adoption process. I'd text my family that next day, and then a week later we announced on Facebook and started fundraising and whatnot. And then we were in contact with an agency that's a bigger agency here in Arizona, and I just had a bad feeling about them. They were recommended by a family member, but something just wasn't feeling right. They wouldn't answer my emails. It was just strange. So I was like, maybe it's because it's around the holidays. So then it was 2 weeks straight without any responses, and I had emailed them 4 times, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna contact another agency. So I contacted my agency, and it was after Christmas. I want to say it was December 29th or something like that. And I emailed her, and I emailed her late. It was definitely after hours, 7 o'clock at night or something. And she responded immediately. And I was like, oh my gosh. And she, that next day, sent me all the paperwork, did an over-the-phone interview with me, and had me scheduled for a face-to-face meeting the following week. And so we went there. It was January 4th, I think. And we drove to Tucson, which is like 5 hours away from where I live. We drove to Tucson and signed on with them, and they immediately started the home study process. And so they told us that takes a few months, and maybe April-ish we would be certified. And so it stressful, tons of paperwork. If any of you have gone through the adoption process or looked into it, you know how much work it is. So we had to get references. Our dogs had to have their shot records. We had to get our tax, our proof of employment, our just everything, along with like any preferences we had for a baby, because the agency we were going through were just doing infant adoption and only domestic in-state infant adoption, the agency I'm going through. So all that paperwork, everything, they had to interview us separately. They had to come to my house and make sure it was like good enough to raise a child in, I guess. So after all of that, we found out from the courts that we got certified, and I just found out like a week and a half ago that we were certified. So it happened sooner than we even thought. I was certified in March instead of April. So now we just wait and pray, wait for a potential birth mother to look at our profile and choose us. So it's a lot of waiting and praying at this point. I mean, a lot of praying this whole time. But as far as coping, it's still so hard. And I felt after I lost my baby, I was in this like just dark place, obviously. And like nothing made me happy. It was holidays, which was awful. I had to go through the holidays being around family. I had friends and family members that were pregnant that were all due around the same time I was due. It was hard. It was hard seeing whenever somebody would announce they were pregnant or announce that they had their baby, seeing an ultrasound picture like literally would paralyze me, like take my breath away. And it still does. Definitely little milestones in my life were hard. Like a couple months ago was my birthday, and just knowing I should have been pregnant. I would have been like big and pregnant. Passing the date, the baby shower was set, was hard. Definitely my due date was hard. I actually, like, Scotty and I just got in the car and drove to Colorado that day just for a fun little trip. Keep our mind happy, I guess. I don't know. But it's still super hard. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever get over it, really. I have my days. This adoption definitely gave me hope again, but didn't make my pain go away, clearly. Sometimes I go into the nursery that was already set up, and I just sit in there and I cry. Some days I go in there and I scream, and some days I go in there and I pray, because I know one day I'll have a baby in there, and I just need to be patient and know it will happen. So I'm sorry I've been kind of all over the place in this video. Just trying to get everything from the last few months out there. I don't know if I'll ever want to try to conceive again, go down that road. As of right now, I'm super happy in the adoption process, and I know it's going to happen for us, and I feel like it's going to be soon. I don't know. I feel like good things are happening. So just keep us in your prayers. I know my baby's out there, and that perfect baby I'm going to love so much, more than I can probably even fathom. So just wanted to give you guys this little update, and I'm probably going to be updating a lot more. I just kind of wanted to, for one, be able to mourn my baby, other than those little quick updates I gave you guys. And then for two, I wanted to get through this stressful home study process, because it was a lot of work, and it was seriously like every day just filling out paperwork or doing adoption education, just every little thing. So I was honestly too busy to even think about filming a video for YouTube. But now that I'm in the waiting process, I kind of want to keep track of it, because one thing I love is I had all those videos of my pregnancy, tracking the moments I was feeling and the excitement and the fear and all those little steps. And so I want that with this too. And so I'm back, guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.